Hello and welcome to chapter 25. In this chapter, we'll see some interesting things. Let's just begin. Something is formed in the chaos, which existed before heaven and earth. It is quiet and profound. It stands alone and alters not. Okay, so we're already talking about this situation, this reality that existed before heaven and earth. So we are learning just by the first sentence, we are learning that there were before heaven and earth were formed, there was this situation of chaos, and also that heaven and earth exist. And they're basically telling us that heaven and earth exist. And before they both existed, there was chaos. Now, it could mean that they are referring to the different dimensions of 3D and higher dimensions. Or it could just mean the sky or something. It's hard to say what exactly do they mean. But they say that before this was this division between different states, between heaven and earth, there was complete chaos. But something existed within this chaos, and it is quiet and profound. It stands alone and alters not. It doesn't change. It's quiet. It revolves eternally without exhaustion, revolves endlessly, and it doesn't exhaust itself. It is regarded as the mother of all beings. All right. I do not know its name except to call it Tao. All right. So that's basically all of this is referring to the Tao. It's basically the mother of all creation. It's the creator. It could be the Christian, Jewish God. It could be the Muslim idea of God. It could be any type of God, but at the end of the day, it's the mother of all beings. It revolves eternally and it has endless energy, and this is the Tao. The great is far reaching. Far reaching, oh, sorry, when forced to give it a name, I would call it the great. The great is far reaching. Far reaching is infinite. So it's infinite. Infinite is to return to the self sufficient origin. Alright, they're trying to explain to us something that's very hard for us to understand because they're talking about higher dimensions and we are here in lower dimension trying to understand all this poetry about infinity and the self-sufficient origin, and it's very hard to understand what a sentence like infinite is to return to the self-sufficient origin. It's like, what? Therefore, Tao is great, heaven is great, earth is great, and so is the true self. So I think at the end of the day, we don't really need to understand the deep physics going around the Tao and the great and the far-reaching and infinity. At the end of the day, the point is that Tao is great, heaven is great, earth is great, and our true self is also great. And great is the Tao, because if he is forced to give it a name, it would call it the great. So the Tao is within all these things. There are four greatness in the universe. The true self is one of them. All right, another interesting statement. They are saying that there are four greatness in the universe, or should I say greatnesses, or I don't know, and the true self is one of them. Man models the way of earth. Earth models the way of heaven. Heaven models the way of Tao. Tao models the way of nature. Alright, so this is very interesting what they're saying. They're saying that man models the way of the earth. Basically, man is looking at earth and acts accordingly, learns from earth. The earth is a model for man, and heaven is a model for the earth, and the Tao is modeled for heaven, and Tao is modeled by the way of nature. So we understand that there is something perhaps higher than Tao, but for us, Tao is everything. So Tao affects nature, nature affects the Tao. It's a relationship that for us in lower dimensions it's hard to understand, but Anyway, that's this chapter.